Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to be looking at the DPS levels in the raids currently with the pre-patch and what's going on. We're going to have a look at just different specs, what talents are running, things like that. So, we are in good old LFR. Just kind of wanted to get a feel for it. I've actually been told that LFR isn't the normal mess of a show that it normally is, so hopefully this is pretty smooth, but I came in on the dogs just before, the trash just before the bosses, and DPS seems to be up around, like, decent is like 3k, consistent is like 2.5, and then you get some people that are like on 800. Which, I mean, is always going to happen, but let's see if we can get a bit of a decent pull here. So I'm starting to get booming rotation down a little bit better. It looks like we're not going to stack these bosses apparently because, you know, why would we? It's LFR, obviously difficult. So as you can see, like 5k openers, which we were able to do on my other boomy actually, my better gear boomy, so I'm not too shocked by this. They're not even in range for me to actually use my twin, what's it called? Lady and the Child properly. Which is unfortunately a shame. I haven't actually used my cooldown because I forgot to press the button. Which, you know, is going to help my DPS a lot, of course. Considering it's LFR, people are actually taking damage. Which sounds silly, but that's not something we would have seen really before. You're never going to wipe to dogs on LFR. But, you know, I mean, we're still probably not going to wipe, but we're taking a lot of damage. The healing has definitely not quite balanced for damage at the moment. I used my Star Surge when I shouldn't. I'm going to drop Fury of Alone and try to get some damage out here with second parts. As you can see, obviously, everyone's burst has kind of gone away now. We're on consistent DPS, and in terms of consistent DPS, like 4k on a lock, with 211 item level apparently. I think that's a little bit low usually. So it reckons mine's normally like 205 and I'm 208, so I'm guessing it's normally around accurate but not quite. But I mean, he's pulling another sort of 800. Apparently Destro locks are a little bit messed up right now in terms of Cataclysm, I believe the spell's called. Let's actually have a look at him, shall we? Oh, so he isn't actually using Cataclysm either, so I guess we can't call him broken if he's not using the broken ability. I'm going to redot again. It's a shame that they weren't close enough at the start, because my burst would have been significantly higher. Are we doing all of this without a second tank? Let's get our second tank up, shall we? Yeah, but our DPS seems to be pretty decent, around 2.8 to 3k. The only people really beating us is, like I said, that Warlock and a Fire Mage, actually. Haven't seen too many Fire Mages. I've seen a couple of people trying out Arcane. Vesny, let's see what his gear's like. 237, so he's actually very, very well geared, and he's only pulling about 800, 900 more DPS than us, which is pretty decent, honestly. It's not a huge jump. The trash DPS makes me laugh because boomies are just in such a good spot right now for it. I'm not even redotting the other one. I don't know if it's efficient to actually have Sunfire on. It's definitely efficient to have Moonfire on. I know that just because of like the double increase on Moonfire. Right, give me my mount. Are you going to give me my mount? Nope. Let's see if we can beg some of this loot, shall we? Floodle immediately left. Doesn't want all their messages. But yeah, I mean, so we finished at 2.6k. Moonfire was actually my highest damage spell, so definitely worth keeping that up as well as Sunfire. But Vesne does some crazy damage with Pyroblast. I presume he has the double Pyroblast legendary. Oh no, he doesn't have the braces on, actually. That's interesting. I thought braces would be like the one thing you definitely want to have on mages right now. So we are using Cephas as well. I'm not sure why everybody's using Cephas, because obviously you can't trigger it on a lot of the bosses. But I think it's just for the flat haste that it gives us. It just becomes our best in slot legendary. But there you go. You see what I was saying about Boomkins and just like ridiculously good AoE. We are 211 geared. We're in LFR geared. Like, we literally have terrible, terrible gear. Like 173 bad statted necklace. It's just terrible gear. And we're still pulling very, very good like DPS AoE, beating everybody else. You know, you always get a couple of people that super try hard in LFR. And today, that is us. So again, I'm going to try and set up my Starfall here. Obviously, we don't insta-burst higher than most people, just because we are a dot class. It does take a minute to ramp up. As you can see, it looks like it has ramped up. And all of a sudden, we jump to the top of the meters. And there's nobody even really contesting us. I should probably show what I'm running. So yeah, I say I'm running Lady of the Child and Cephas. The talents I'm running: Warrior of Elune, Wild Charge, Guardian Affinity, Mass Entanglement, Star-Lord, Twin Moons, and Fury of Elune. So it's not the best single target setup by any means. This is actually what I've been running for low Mythic Plus keys, just because it seems like it's kind of one of the best setups at the moment. Purely off my own testing though. Maybe I'm wrong. At the moment, it looks like shooting stars is actually very single target viable, which is awesome. I like that ability. Star-Lord, if you can manage Star-Lord correctly, and by manage, it means that you have to kind of use 3 spenders, and depending on your haste, maybe a 4th just to use your Astral Power, and then save all your Astral Power for the buff to run off, so that you can instantly reapply 2 stacks of Star-Lord. And you kind of just have to balance it over and over again, which is not a problem. But other than that, Soul of the Forest are very good for Mythic Plus. Obviously, the empowerments both being AoE now, you're going to cleave a lot of damage, and then Starfall being reduced in cost. Or you have Incarnation, which just means that single target burst is going to be a lot higher. Again, good for Mythic Plus. Kind of depends what your role is. But again, 3 target. We'll see if we can reach top sort of DPS here. Not getting any empowerment procs, unfortunately. There we go, we've got 1. And our DPS is just insane. Once we get into like our dots ramped up and everything like that, it really does hit hard. Obviously, Guardian Affinity, no questions about it, just the best talent in that tree. Warrior of Elune, you can use Force of Nature. In terms of Warrior of Elune, you get less Astral Power, I believe, per minute. Up till about like 6 or 7 minutes, which is the longer the fight goes, the more Astral Power you get from Warrior of Elune, is what I should say. You get more from Force of Nature early, but Warrior of Elune gives you that mobility to cast while moving, which is obviously really nice, especially when raiding, and the fact that you can stack up 3 Lunar Strike empowerments and then blow them all into Warrior of Elune with massive like additional Astral Power and damage burst. So that's kind of where my mind's at with it. Nature's Balance is really nice talent, but just doesn't seem to be competitive with the other 2 at the moment. 2 Astral Power every 3 seconds, 45-second cooldowns, so it would take... I'll work it out at some other point, because I don't want to do quick maths. I think it's more efficient than Warrior of Elune, probably more efficient in terms of just raw Astral Power than Force of Nature, but... obviously, both of these add extra utility or damage as well. So, it's pretty much where you want to go. I think they're all pretty well balanced. I like the fact Stellar Flare is now a generator. Maybe that's something I'm going to test out as well in Mythic Plus. Now that obviously we have Twin Moons from this, we don't always need it from that. So, I've tried Stellar Drift out. Really nice playstyle. Of course, it's a super cool talent. If you're going to go Stellar Drift, though, definitely go Soul of the Forest. Don't know what we're waiting for. Hopefully we can kill this boss and we'll see some uber deeps. So we're going to try and cleave on this boss as much as possible. My goal is to finish top DPS here. Every time the ads are about to spawn, I want to be dropping double Starfalls so that we can also work with Star-Lord as well. Something important with Star-Lord is you're probably going to need a macro to cancel the Star-Lord buff. If you're going from like fight to fight, and it's going to have like 3 seconds on it at the start of the next fight, and you want to use a Starfall, you want to cancel it off and then reapply it with Starfall. Okay, that's something. But let's see what DPS people can pull here. We're going to reset completely. I'm so happy my laser chicken's back. Oh, people aren't actually here, of course not. Yeah, so I haven't tried New Moon yet at all. So, I mean, you look at the damage on it. New Moon, Half Moon, Full Moon seems like it would be an efficient talent. Maybe we could use Radiant Moonlight again and have that crazy big burst, but I haven't tried it, and I don't know. I'm going to try some arenas today as well. Hopefully record a couple of these, see what we can do with Boomy. Try some threes. Oh, we've pulled. And there was no timer, so I didn't get to actually use my potion. So I'm going to use my Warrior of a Loon just so that I can drop that early. We've got our dots out on everything, and we've got our Cephas proc as well, which is amazing. Alright, let's get some serious burst out then. So we've got all of that haste at the moment. We've got 149% haste. That's some pretty nice. And we hit like a 6k burst then, obviously cleaving adds as well. But hey, I'll take it. So again, I didn't really control my Astral Power there, so my Star-Lord fell off and I only reapplied it with 1 stack. Not exactly ideal. So every time they come up, I can actually get a Cephas proc, which is something I definitely want to do. Starfall's more important than keeping Star-Lord up, but again, that's where we want to get that like buff, or we want to get like that cancel macro, so that we can sort out, like we could drop Star-Lord and then reapply it with Starfall to get the benefit for the full duration. It's going to be some min-max and stuff, but I think it's definitely worth doing in the end. So we've got our 3, we're just going to see how much Astral Power we can get before it ticks over. Not too much, unfortunately, but new ads are going to spawn any second, so I'm going to save all my Astral Power up. Spawn the ads, goddammit. Okay, I'm going to do one of these then. Okay, guess we're not getting new ads here then. I'm still expecting ads at some point. There we go. So I've applied that to everything, and we're just going to let that go ham. This is what I'm saying. I had like 2 stacks of Lunar Empowerment. Means that I can use Warrior of a Loon and blow, like, just do some pretty high damage, honestly. All instant as well. So I'm not managing Star-Lord as well as I should be. But, I mean, we're doing decent DPS, so I shouldn't have to go super try hard. I'm not going to have any Starfall for these ads, though, unfortunately. I'm going to get the Cephas proc, which will be nice. There we go, we dropped the Starfall. Hopefully that'll do some deeps. I do miss the Starfall gold trait that we used to have in our artifact weapon, but hey, I'm glad it's gone for everybody. I think that's something that a lot of people weren't happy about with the game. So I'm going to get max Astral Power, and then we're going to probably drop a double Starfall if he's going to summon new ads, which he's not. So we're going to do a double Star Surge, do all of our Solar Wrath to try and get 3 empowerments. It's not going to give me 3 Lunar Empowerments. And as we get to the other side, we're going to pop cooldowns, Warrior of a Loon, and do instantly 3.5k, 3.5k, and 2k. Back to full Astral Power, and again we get to then pump a load of Star Surges in and get our Star-Lord back up. Like I said, I think the biggest thing with this spec at the moment is going to be Star-Lord sort of min-maxing. I think that's going to be a huge thing, and if you can get it right, you're going to get some major benefits, especially at the moment where stats are so low. See, I actually used that one too early, and it counted into the last Star-Lord, so I didn't get a Star-Lord stack, which is really bad. And you see how slow things are casting now? it's just horrible. So maybe Emerald Dreamcatcher is actually viable right now. Don't know. Would be very interested to test it out, though. I think I'd need a lot more haste if we were going to test it, though. So I'm going to get some Astral Power. Again, drop a double Star Surge into a... I thought I'd have enough for a third. There's the third. And it looks like we're in a pretty good spot to finish this. So, obviously, the really geared Fire Mage did win out on us. But, hey. Actually, in terms of like total DPS, 3.4k isn't bad. Moonfire was a big chunk of that. Lunar Strike actually our second highest as well. So, pretty happy with the breakdown. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. And catch you later. Goodbye.